32, almost 33 years. It's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we've built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today. One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
All About Bugs Tennessee Pest and Termite Control is all about family too. Our family-owned business has successfully been in operation in Sevierville and surrounding areas for almost a decade. Especially during these times, a pest-free home is necessary for a sustainable, disease-free home or business. Our services include residential, rental, commercial, hotel, motel, cabins, you name it. Free quotes and inspections for new customers, and most of our services are contract-free. Our All About Bugs Tennessee family is devoted to delivering the best possible pest control service with a friendly smile. Contact us at 865-453-5574 today.
If it's bugging you, you should be bugging us.
This 11-turn road course has been a staple of NASCAR since 1989. The twists and turns and no real straightaway section make this one of the most unique race courses on Earth. Live from the virtual Sonoma Raceway, it is the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series presented by Racing Revolution. I'm your host and producer, Morgan Cook, for this evening. Alongside me, Alex Gagnon, our color commentator.
Hey Morgan, pleasure to be back here once again. And after last week where we got to watch that thrilling all-star race with the street stocks at North Wilkesboro, back in the next gen tonight should be a fun one here. Road course racing once again in the Chapman Environmental Cup Series. Always an adventure when you start asking stock cars to go turn right and left.
That's something a lot of these drivers are not used to, but we're here at the virtual Sonoma Raceway for the second road course race of the season. Obviously, Coda was the first one a while back, but pull those belts tight, get ready to turn left and right. It is the All About Bugs 110. Should be a thriller here tonight. After last week's street stocks for the All-Star race, Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series returns into the next-gen cars for tonight's race in wine country. Points leader Jeremy Burns may not have gotten any points for the win last week, but he'll look to keep that momentum rolling, as of course he is the points leader naturally. There you see it on your screen. He is up by 30-odd points over Rob Rader, his teammate. Those two have run 1-2 for the majority of this season. Dave McDonald, Caleb Gilbert, Trevor Erhardt round out your top 5. The rest of the drivers there on the screen. That yellow line is the cut line for the playoffs. Very important that you are on the right side, the top side of that line. Grant Turner, with that one win, I believe, moves himself into playoffs as well. That remains to be seen, though. We'll find out here in a few weeks. Let's look at the points. Let's talk about this 11-turn racetrack, Alex.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, Sonoma Raceway, one of those tracks that have been a staple here in NASCAR for quite some time. And, the way this course is laid out, really fascinating. They used to have that infield section. They got rid of what was officially known as turns 5 and 6 when they went to this variation about 20 years ago. And that's why we have the whole weird 3, 3A, 4 in the turn 7 kind of deal. But a lot of elevation changes here at Sonoma. That climb after the start-finish line to get up through the front part of the course back toward turn 4, you climb almost 150 feet. It sounds like I almost had I don't know what happened. I ran
Are you okay, Alex? Are you all right?
I'm chilling. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. That was sorry if I terrified anyone at home. Don't know what that was. But then you come back down from 4 to 7 and through the S's back toward that hairpin in turn 11. We've seen so much action and so much calamity down there in 11 over the years where it's if you're going to make your move like we saw with Tony Stewart and Denny Hamlin back in 2016, that corner is the place to do it.
Or if you want to do the Tony Stewart, Brian Vickers kind of move, the little retaliation, end up backed up into the tire barrel. You can do that there too. That is acceptable. Okay, race analysis here. 55 laps tonight at this almost 2-mile racetrack, 110 miles. Pit road speed, 35 miles an hour. Really long pit road. Do not speed. 5 tire sets available. 4 laying, 1 on the car. 3 green-white checkers, although I don't believe cautions are on tonight other than the stage. Shouldn't be an issue. Stage at lap 12. Write it down, Alex. I will undoubtedly forget. And we are in the fixed setup as always. Let's talk about your Pole Award winner for Coastal Financial. That driver, of course, none other than Jeremy Burns. I think we all expected that. Our mission of Coastal Financial is to provide comprehensive financial planning solutions tailored to each individual's unique needs and goals, with the aim of empowering our clients to make informed financial decisions and achieve their financial potential. You can find us at coastalfinancial.com or on Facebook at Coastal Financial. Thank you to them for sponsoring the Pole Award all season long. As mentioned, Jeremy Burns on the pole here for this evening's race. All about Bugs 110. With that being said, let's get down trackside and let's go through the grid. Like I mentioned, Jeremy Burns starting on pole, edged out Trevor Keith by just over half a tenth. Very close on the speed charts for those two. Third spot, Jackson McGeorge flexed some muscle in the 98. Travis Gilbert will start 4th, the outside of row number 2. 5th place tonight belongs to Carter Linz in the 66. Hopefully I don't jinx him like at Coda, but we will find out, won't we? Parker Johnston with a T in the 48 will start 6th. 7th spot, Michael Bennett, the 14. Quentin Stewart making a rare appearance in the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series. He will start in 8th in the 99. 9th spot, John Fike in the 10. Kyle Diaz at Domino's 26. Familiar Sight will start 10.
Falling off 11th tonight is the 39 of Grant Turner alongside the 12 of Justice Murphy. Row 7 is the 41 of Trevor Erhardt, who finished runner-up at Coda, the only other road course we've run so far this season. Grant Thorpe rolling off 14th. 15th will be Jacob Sirkovich in the 18 machine. Tyler Harrison in the 45 to his right side. And 17th, it is Devin Hudgens in the 84. Kevin Orlando Jr. in that 27 machine will be rolling off 18th. And row 10, it's Dustin Reinstedel in the 11 and Tay McDonald in the 20th in the 29 machine.
Starting 21st, Alex Forget, new look on the 19 this week. Caleb Gilbert will start 22nd in the 54. 23rd, Robert Rader. Me on the side of that one. We've all seen that paint scheme before. Chris Nail will start 24th in the 88. 25th, Daniel Holloway, the Candyman. 26th, Al Likens, another new scheme for him. 27th, Dylan Picklesheimer. 28th will be Sam Taylor. 29th, Matt Robinson. 30th, Jeff Israel Jr.
And behind them, James Loveland rolling off 31st. Brandon Richardson, 32nd. Daryl Johnson, Christopher Schaefer.
That is your
And that,
grid.
I believe, rounds the field.
That is your grid this evening. As we are rolling into, this is 10, if I'm not mistaken, turn 10. An ultimate corner, what's also called.
Now that pace car going to try and find its way. I guess it found its way down pit road here. Not going to take the Gilligan's Island approach, as was so astutely noted by Mike Joy this week.
Field's going to roll into the initial start zone. Jeremy Burns going to lead him into turn number 1. Racing at Sonoma. Carter Lynn's backed up off the racetrack.
Early trouble there for the 66. He's going to fall all the way back to the tail end of the field here. You see John Fike
there goes the
experimenting with the
41.
grass. There goes the
Big
41 of Erhardt.
slide.
Dicey start here.
A lot of 2 wide at this point in the field. This is Alex Forget in 16th. That blue and white car on the outside. A lot of 2x2 as we're going to roll into the S's. Look at that.
That's a beautiful and terrifying sight. If you're in the back of the field, you get to see all that bobbing and weaving, snaking through this beautiful road course out in Northern California. But if you're one of those cars who had early trouble, you've got a lot of work to do here on the opening lap to try and get yourself back into contention. Not the easiest place to pass here is Sonoma. So track position is going to be critical. And qualifying was half the battle. Keeping the car on track through the opening lap, that's the other half of the battle.
Jeremy Burns going to lead lap number 1. Closest battle on the racetrack right now. Turner Harrison, 11th and 12th. Now it will be Rader and the 18. Big drive up the inside for Rader. He will take the spot. Oh, door open. Kevin Orlando Jr. thought he'd take a little peek there and is able to fall behind the 18 up here through turn number 3.
Jumping up there to Kyle Diaz, already making some progress through the field here.
Oh, crossover.
Moving up.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, little over-under. Contact between him and Fike. They'll try and be side by side here. Fike will take that spot back for the moment. That's a tough place to try and go door to door. You
Caleb
see
Gilbert's
someone
found
with issues
himself
further
backwards.
back in the field. Yeah,
That is less
a lot
than
of cars
ideal.
already having some issues here. Not
So-
been super forgiving has Sonoma been these opening 2 laps.
Parker Johnson out here going off-roading off of 10. Really easy to do, really easy to miss that corner. Quentin Stewart doing his thing in the 99. Part-timer. CEO of the QSR Simulation Series here on Tuesday nights. You would have caught that on V-Speed last night if you were watching Jake Reeves and myself. We were over at Richmond the time last night.
Tell you what, that's one of the benefits of broadcasting iRacing events as opposed to the real life ones. You can cast Richmond one night and come out to Sonoma the next, and don't have any of the jet lag to show for it.
No jet lag whatsoever. It is quite the gig. Side-by-side battle back here. Sam Taylor, Jackson McGeorge started up in 3rd. I'm not sure what happened to the 98. He has lost 23 positions. Might have had an issue in turn 1 that we weren't able to see. Might make a pass here on Picklesheimer. You can tell there's some drivers in this field who are just not we're not looking forward to this race. They're simply here to check off that they raced here today. This racetrack is a struggle if you're not a road course driver, even if you are a road course driver.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a particularly comfortable track. You're almost constantly turning somewhere. Going up and down as well. There's very few straightaways. You don't have time to mentally really reset and find a rhythm. It is such a rhythm track trying to get through these sequential corners. Oh, Forget's around.
Big
Jumped
slide.
on board with a 19 and a big slide going up toward turn 1.
Minimal contact. Oh, there's some more contact. That's Chris Nail. Big right front damage on that car. That will frustrate the 88, I bet, as he had nothing to do with that incident. Just unfortunately caught Forget in a bad spot.
Well, I'm sure that won't make the 19 very happy either. Those are two drivers who are upset that those two made contact. I have no doubt about that. We're jumping up here. Justice Murphy, podium finish here from Coda, the only other road course we've run this season. Up a couple spots, worked his way now into the top 10. Looking to try and get a few more from Thorpe and Stewart.
New
See
paint
if he
scheme.
can track down the 77.
On the 12 this week as well, he's got Alzheimer's awareness on the side, as opposed to the all about bugs as he normally has. We got a battle here for the 8th spot right in front of him. Thorpe on the bottom, Stewart on the top side. Pretty easy pass for the 77. It is not. I was mistaken, as we're still side by side. Now he clears them. There we go. Chris Nail on pit road. So is Gilbert.
Yeah, Gilbert down pit road. It looked like Justice Murphy was going to try and make a play at Quentin Stewart as well. Back there in 9th. They were side by side going in the 1. Picklesheimer's around.
Big
Coming
slide.
out of turn 11, it looks like.
Big slide for the 43. He will fall back to the 29th position. A lot of drivers had a lot of issues so far in this event. It's such a challenge to run this race in these kind of cars. A lot of rear power, no real suspension to kind of hold you in the racetrack. It's just, it slips and slides, and you just have no idea where it wants to go. There's other cars on the track too trying to pass you. Lycan's trying to pounce there, and there goes the 42 off the curb.
Oh, you have to watch that happen in real time. Caught too much curb getting in the 4.
Good save.
And ended up looping it. Morgan, let me pose you a hypothetical here. What if I were to tell you chat was saying that Jackson McGeorge had a penalty to start this one and had to start at the tail end of the line despite qualifying 3rd and is now trying to run his way back through the field?
Doesn't strike me as hypothetical at all. I think that's exactly what happened. What that does tell me,
he's doing a good job, though. He's already up to 23rd.
What that does tell me, there goes the 19 of
Forget
there
goes
again.
Forget again.
What that does tell me is that 98's got a lot of speed in it, and he's rolling through the field 22nd after Forget goes for a little spin there out of 11. But we're only 6 laps into this race, and we have a caution in 6 laps. Remember the stage break? I didn't forget this time. At lap number 12. Means that he will get a chance to re-rack him, maybe get him with a little pit strategy and see what he can do. Jackson McGeorge I'm talking about. As he has a legitimate chance in this race, I really do feel like.
Yeah, I mean, obviously having to work your way back through the field is a real hamper here, but the opportunity for the stage break could be critical in the 98's chances of getting up into the mix in the top 10. As we're jumping on board here with Bennett, who's having a pretty solid start to the race here, rolling P4. Seeing Johnston up ahead of him here. He's just kind of settling into this spot.
If I recall, Bennett led quite a few laps at Coda, if I'm remembering that correctly. Hudgens going to give the spot up to Tate McDonald. That is for 15th. These two drivers are racing for. Closest battle on the racetrack. I believe it is for the 12th position. Zirkovich fighting Harrison.
Got Kevin Orlando Jr. lurking in the background there as well.
Raiders trying to get by Linz as well. He just wants to go fast. Or pretty fast right now, although he is 20th after a less than stellar qualifying effort. Or the 53, I'd have to think an off-track was involved for him to have to start that deep in the field. As out
Certainly
front,
a possibility.
it has been the Jeremy Burns Show. 6 laps completed, 6 laps led, and a 3.2 second lead over Trevor Keith.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremy Burns ended up picking up a very hardy, I believe, 14-second victory when they went to Coda. The only other car really in contention there was Trevor Erhardt, who right now currently scored 23rd. Trevor Keith, though, not doing a bad job keeping within a few seconds here. You know, he's only about a half a second off a lap here through the opening, actually a bit less. curious to see if they'll try anything coming up toward the stage break. Going to try and get some track position. Maybe not Trevor Keith, maybe someone a little deeper in the field could try and come in just before the stage or try and stay out. Who knows? You know, when you have a field this deep and a second stage as long as we do here tonight, it does open the door from some options on pit road. We're going to try and mix it up, maybe see what happens.
What I want you at home to look at is just the difference in how into this race first and second are. Jeremy Burns could be doing anything on earth right now. He'd probably have the same look on his face. Trevor Keith, very much in this race, moving around. He's sawing on the wheel. He's really working that sim rig he's got in, looks like his basement there. Just interesting how different drivers get into it in different ways.
It really, you can also tell, you know, he's really feeling it right now. He's leaning into those corners whenever he hits them, even though I don't think that's a rig that's rolling with him. Still able to kind of feel where that corner's supposed to be, feel that corner and how that movement would affect you in the car, and watching it happen in real time. We jump back to third here, Parker
It's
Johnson.
5 extra horsepower when you lean in. That everyone knows that. That's just the way that it is. Again, not a chuckle.
That probably explains. I was about to say probably why I was never particularly good at these road courses, never leaning into anything. Although I also couldn't really time braking worth anything. So there's a reason I've stopped driving regularly and now just talk about other people driving. It's because that was never anything I was particularly good at.
It's way easier to talk about it. I will tell you. It's so
It
much
is.
easier to
It
talk
also-
about it than actually do it.
It's far more rewarding as well because you don't beat yourself up when you miss a corner.
Just when you mess someone's name up.
That is true. Hopefully not doing any of that here tonight.
Oh, that would
As
have
we
been
take a look here at
great
Dustin Reinstedel.
if Dustin Reinstettel's telemetry was working, I would say, because I think we butchered his name more than anyone else's this season. Oh, big lockup for Linz. We got it. Oh, big issue with
Raider.
Raiders.
And
well.
I think McGeorge made contact there off of 4.
I don't know what happened to
McGeorge will
53.
go on by. Yeah, I'm about to say,
up
they were
20.
way down.
Oh, Carter
someone
Linz.
puts it in the wall. It's Carter Linz.
Oh, my goodness. That, I think, is
Front end
worth
of
a
that
replay.
car destroyed.
Let's go figure out what
We should
happened
probably
there.
just watch that whole sequence. There's a lot to unpack.
So here we are from Linz trying to cross it over on Robinson, locks it up. This is where we cut away last time. Yeah, tough
Yeah, we
break
saw
for
the
Raiders.
contact there. Then tries diving it into 7, locks it up again.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man,
my.
heavy contact with Robinson.
I have never seen that before.
Looks like both of them got a little loose trying to get through 7. And the one car just flew back over at the 66, and nowhere Linz could go but the concrete barrier.
Yeah, that is a...
And as all that was happening, there was a battle going on with McGeorge and Raider that was coming off of 4 that eventually the 98 got around, but not without a bit of contact.
This has been wild. Oh, McGeorge off the racetrack.
Way off the track. He's going to have to try and find his way back around Raider. And there goes Robinson as well, whose car looks relatively better off than the 66. I mean, no real discernible damage on the one despite what happened to Linz.
I would say you're right about that. Hopefully it doesn't happen again right here. It does not. McGeorge does not go flying in the air and into the outside wall. Keep it together, and there's Alex Forget, who has been, he's right where he started, but that has not been the story for the 19. Worked up to the mid-teens, spun, back to the deep 20s, now back up to 21st. Just doing his best.
It's been a very interesting opening stage for a lot of our drivers here. Maybe none more so than Alex Forget, who's already gone around a couple times. Carter Linz has gone around a couple times, and that car is severely damaged. And meanwhile, Jeremy Burns up at the front of the field, probably none the wiser. He's just been going along doing his thing.
I think he doesn't really care. I think he's just happy to be leading this race, coming back to go claim the stage win. He's rolling through the S's here right now. Go into 10. Down this little short chute. To turn number 11. Don't hit the barrels. I've definitely wrecked there before. And Jeremy Burns is going to claim the stage win right here. 10 points. Cash the check. Jeremy Burns. That followed by Keith, Johnston, Bennett, Gilbert. This is Kyle Diaz. Across the line in 6th. Got a drag race here. 99-39. 39 is going to get it. Quentin Stewart will get the last stage point. I don't know if we're going to have a caution here or if that was just a points awarding lap. We're going to find out here in a number of seconds.
That is a very interesting question. I'm curious to see what they decided on for that. We are still green at the moment, so maybe we'll just keep on rolling.
Last car to cross the line this lap would be Caleb Gilbert. Don't see a caution, so I think we're going to keep it clean and green here. Well, maybe green.
Alrighty.
Maybe clean's not the right word for it.
But, yeah, I'll say the opening 12 laps, I don't know if I'd necessarily call clean, but we will definitely have that green flag still out in the air. And I tell you what, Trevor Keith closed up about a second that lap.
He did. He's down to 3.5 back of the Burns, the Mountain Man. Good battle back here for 11th. We're dooring each other here through turn 10. Off the track.
and Thor.
Rewind.
Oh, this is about to get dicey into 11.
Rewind.
Is Orlando Jr. going to make that stick? Yes, he is.
Just said, how do you do? I think I'll go 2 for 1. Like I'm at a fancy restaurant.
Power move by the 27. Tell you what, there was a 50% chance that he got 2 positions and a 50% chance it ended up like Josh Berry this weekend, dominoing an entire chunk of the field. But,
caution is
27
out.
made it work.
There
the
is
cautions.
There is the stage.
All right.
I was a lap early. Sometimes counting is hard. Your
Well,
top
in our
10.
defense, the sheet did say lap 12 is the stage break. So
your top 10: Jeremy Burns, Trevor Keith, Parker Johnston, Michael Bennett, Travis Gilbert, Kyle Diaz. That is the top 5 of the stage. John Fike, Grant Turner, Quentin Stewart, Tyler Harrison will get the last stage point here. Lap number 12, working 13. Rest of your field you can see on the ticker. Go ahead, Alex.
I was going to say that of that opening stage, one of the things I'm keeping my eye on the most, Jackson McGeorge in the 98, even with the contact with Rader, still drove his way up to 17th through the opening 13 laps here. That 98 car is wicked fast tonight, and I think with the stage break here and having everyone bunch back up, prime opportunity for the 98 to go out there and pick up another handful of spots.
Yeah, the best part is, like you said, they all get bunched back up. Opportunity to gain some spots in a hurry, as we will not be pitting this time. Burns still trying to find the pace car. There it is. Pace car in the short chute between 4 and 7. Yes, that is how this racetrack works. We go from 4 to 7. You were talking about the carousel earlier. That's that looping section. You can kind of see it in the background of the shot right there. The top of the racetrack. See if we can get it high above. There it is. That big loop in the middle. It goes onto the drag strip. That is turn 5 and 6. It goes back to 7, 7A, and the S's right in the center of your screen. What a facility here. How many different series race at this facility?
A significant amount. We were doing a little bit of research before the show tonight, and I mean, just on their listing of major events, they've got between not only NASCAR's Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, GT World Challenge, Ferrari Challenge North America, Trans Am West Coast, NHRA, and the 24 Hours of Lemons, which has a special place in my heart. So, this place really has it all.
Yeah, Sonoma knows how to host a race, variety of different races, fun racetrack. Unless you don't like road courses, then it's not fun. But what do you do? What do you do at that point? But one driver's having a lot of fun right now. Jeremy Burns just out here, kind of showing this field how you drive left and right in a next-gen car. Your car's gonna hit their pit box. Get some service done. This is the only free stop you're gonna have today. Get that fuel, get those tires.
For both Burns and Keith.
Get off pit road with the lead. Except for Robert Rader, stayed out. So he He will be the leader. Track position.
23 also out, but I believe he's a lap down.
The 23 is a lap down, yes. Christopher Schaefer, his 29th, and off the racing surface.
Under yellow flag conditions, too. A little, dare I say, unforced error by the 23.
It happens. It does. This is a difficult racetrack. There is no two ways around it. It may be fun, slipping and sliding. It's not for everybody, as I think we got a brake pedal issue with the 23. He is having difficulty keeping it on the black stuff, but again, these things happen.
That they do. That they do.
So let's re-rack this field as we are working through the pace lap. Robert Rader, your leader after staying out. He's going to lead a lap. I'm assuming he doesn't pit this time. I guess we should probably watch for that. See here in a couple seconds if he stays to the outside. Looks like he might stay to the outside. He will, in fact, pit this time. Jeremy Burns going to get the lead back without ever actually giving up the lead. How interesting. Trevor Keith is going to be second. Parker Johnston is going to be third. Michael Bennett, followed by Kyle Diaz, Grant Turner, John Fike, Quentin Stewart, Kevin Orlando Jr., your top 10. Sirkovich is going to be 11th, maybe 10th. Raiders still falling through the field. It is becoming difficult to score. Grant Thorpe in the 77. Harrison, Loveland, B-Speed zone. Trevor Erhardt, the 41, the Tide Ride. Mick George, Hudgens, Forget, Robinson, Holloway, Picklesheimer, your top 20.
If there's any two cars that have had an eventful opening stage, it was those cars back-to-back 17th and 18th. Forget and Robinson, those two guys. Forget's gone around a couple of times. Robinson with that big contact with Carter Linz. I'm sure both of them looking for a slightly more tame second half to this race.
And for those wondering if your favorite driver is Caleb Gilbert, he is out of this race. Justice Murphy has retired from the event. So has Carter Linz. Chris Nail and Brandon Richardson completed one lap before pulling it behind the wall. If that's one of your favorite drivers, well, that's unfortunate. It just was not their day today. And
that's certainly one way to word it.
it was not their day. Obviously, Carter Linz headfirst in the outside wall, not what you want to see. I'm just glad that this is a sim and not real life. That one would have hurt.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Fields going to roll into 11. Burns has the lead again. Trevor Keith alongside again. Everyone's going to catch up back out of 11. A little accordion effect. Through that kink before the start finish, and we are on the pedal again. Jeremy Burns side by side with the 15 this time. Just edges ahead.
Oh boy, diving in there was Bennett for a second. Got a lot dicier on behind him. The 14, though, took a look to the inside of Keith. The 15 shut the door, and now we'll hold on the second. Look at all this going on up through the up the hill here, back toward turn 4. Everyone trying to fight for the positions that they can get while everyone's all bottled together. You might not get another opportunity like this the rest of the night.
In fact, you will not get another opportunity. Oh, Quentin Stewart for a ride.
Got some hang time.
He's still rolling. That's only going to lose him a few spots here. It's only going to fall back to about the 12th position. So I think only a few. Oh, that's Erhardt around.
Oh, there goes Orlando.
Just saw Orlando around. The 27, where's he at? Just off-roading. I think that, oh, someone spun. Is that the 19 again? It was Forget. There's Forget.
Yeah.
Too much to keep track of.
Not been nice.
This is
not
unreal.
Been a nice night there for the 19. I mean, multiple cars going around. We'll finally jump back up here. I believe that's the, it looks like a bit of a battle developing for both second and fourth. And looking through here, you see this is Trevor Keith, Parker Johnston closing in on the back bumper of the 15, trying to see if he can snag away P2.
We got a big group of cars back here. Close together. Side by side up there a little further.
Oh, that's not a place you want to be side by side for long.
No, definitely do not want to be side by side through 1 or 3. We're still side by side into 4. Into the braking zone. Crossover by chance.
Whoa.
Oh, he turned him. 18
Well, he
goes
got
around.
so loose catching the curbing in 4 there. Zerkovic's car was both off pace and off balance with how much curb he caught going into the corner.
Big contact
Oh,
for
that's
41.
terminal. That's terminal.
Yeah, that's modified division stuff right there for Trevor Erhardt. Let's see if we can go back and find out what happened to him. Already had damage, in fact. From an earlier incident, looks like he just got loose here off of 3 into the tire barrier, although that is not where that damage came from.
All right, maybe not terminal then, but certainly does not seem pleasant. But when he was backing up from the tire barrier there with that much damage, it certainly seemed like it had just collected itself in there, and that was going to be all she wrote.
Would you call it terminate?
Oh.
Maybe not. 14th, Devin Hudgens. You can hear him shifting, a lot of shifting at this racetrack, and something that some drivers have paddle shifters on their wheel. Some have an H pattern, some have a sequential like myself. Really just differing strategies when it comes to shifting, and there are pros and cons to each. But this is a track where you're going to really practice your shifting. Oh, off the racetrack a little bit for the 40. 43 is able to keep it pointed the right direction. We're talking about it before. Jackson McGeorge up to 11.
That car is fast.
Even with damage on the nose, looks like somebody was a little slower than he wanted them to be. Moved him out of the way a little bit. Harrison off-roading out of 10. He's under fire now from Grant Turner. Into 11. Lovewood's going to try and follow him through.
The 45 got real loose coming off 11. So that car step out on him, had to catch it. They are going to keep battling here up to 1. Turner going to have a slight nose ahead.
Oh, big loose for the 45.
Spot for it. The 45 caught it.
Great save.
Boy, oh boy, that was dicey for a second, and that may have opened up the door for Loveland.
Yeah, that's driving it. There's a look at the man right there, Tyler Harrison.
Oh, is he going to look to the inside of 4?
You bet he is.
Oh,
and
got a little bit of a lockup.
Oh, that was just about disaster for the 39.
Oh, it's about to be 3 wide in the 7. Oh boy, Loveland backed out. I can't say I blame him, as that got real dicey. 3 wide now through the S's. Oh boy, that's a recipe for disaster.
I'll tell you what, when I got the schedule and I saw this race, I was thinking, oh, this is going to be, it'll be fine. And here we are, 3 wide, bouncing off each other through 7A. Not what I expected out of the Chapman
and only 20
Environmental
laps
Services.
in. It's not
right.
the last lap. We've got more than half this race to go still.
This has been unbelievable racing so far here at Sonoma. 2 wide for 12th spot. Quentin Stewart trying to hang on. Going to lose a couple, it looks like.
99 fresh off his off-road excursion from a few laps ago.
13th now for Quentin Stewart. Parker Johnston having an issue. He sure did.
Oh, he was running up in the top 3 too.
Figure out what
Here comes
happened.
Spike to try and capitalize.
To our 3rd
Has
place
some damage
runner.
on that left side.
I think he got some help. Everything's looking okay here for the 48. Just a little bit too hot into 2. And then he did
sent
get
it a little
hit.
bit. Oh, and had nowhere to go, and Bennett tagged him, and Diaz slipped on by.
Back to 6
48
now.
though, ultimately still in decent position for what that could have been.
Could have been a lot worse, certainly. Got a good battle back here. Likens and Forget going at it. This is for 21st. So you're telling me after everything that's happened so far in this race, Forget is still +1 in terms of position from where he started. The dude spun out 4 times.
That's unbelievable.
And he's still right where he started. That 19 has some pace, just having trouble keeping it on the black.
That is actually, I would not have believed that he is still positive despite the day that he's had so far. Nice little battle here, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Johnston going to try and get back around Fike. He might try and make a move here in the 4. He's going to look to the inside. Really lunged it on in there. And just going to roll past the 10. Easy work there for Johnston. And don't look now, but that 98 machine's into 9th. He's cracked the top 10 and looking for more on the back bumper of Grant Turner.
Unbelievable drive for Jackson McGeorge. If we gave out Driver of the Race awards at the halfway point, I think it would go to this 98. He's been mightily impressive. Only driver I think who's been more impressive is our leader, who we have yet to talk about, Jeremy Burns. Just out here on a Sunday drive on a Wednesday. Led 21 laps, ran 21 laps, 22 now. And he has a 3.2 second lead over Trevor Keith, who's been equally impressive, running second for every lap of this event. Unfortunately, there was one driver who is just head and shoulders kind of above everyone else in terms of this Sonoma Raceway, and that is your leader.
Tell you what, though, the 15 doing a good job at least keeping them within reasonable distance here. I mean, obviously, can't do much when you're 3.5 seconds back, but that 15 car's had more pace than just about anyone else in the field. You see he's opened up a 3-second gap over Diaz, and then it compounds more from there. So we're watching this battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th still, John Fike and Grant Thorpe. You know, these guys having pretty solid runs, but I wouldn't say anywhere near the lead. As here goes McGeorge diving in on Turner for 8th.
He's going to go get that one, too.
Wow.
Grant Turner back to the 9th spot. McGeorge passes him into 8th. Kylie Harrison rounds out your top 10 here at Sonoma. Travis Gilbert, 11th.
Nice little run through the field here. Seeing a couple guys making some big moves. Making their way up through the field here. McDonald, Picklesheimer. Hudgens got way locked up in the 10. He's lucky he didn't bin it. It's a tough place to go off track and not hit the wall.
No banking to catch you as you're sliding through the dirt. You just got to keep it pointed to the right and on the throttle. Reinsettle, for some reason, has no telemetry. That is Dustin Reinsettle in the 11. He is 22nd on the racetrack. Erhardt has pulled it off the surface from 24th.
Sam Taylor finding himself right in the middle of this lead pack here, going a lap down.
Robert Rader has also pulled it off the racing surface. He is 7 laps down. Not sure what happened to the 53. Maybe Chad can help me out there. Might have some more inside information than I do. Not a good points day, though, for Robert Rader. Off the racetrack at the moment. Trevor Erhardt in 24th, Caleb Gilbert 30th, Justice Murphy 31st, Carter Linz 32nd, Chris Nail 33rd, Brandon Richardson 34th. Those drivers will not return.
What's particularly tough in Raiders' situation is not only is that 53 car now off the track, not going to have a great points day today from Sonoma, but the person he's battling with in the points there, his teammate Jeremy Burns, on pace to pull the lion's share of the points here tonight. So that gap going to get real ugly, I think, after today's race if these results hold.
Yeah, already won the stage, did Jeremy Burns. Got those 10 points and that playoff point, so that is going to help. Going to add a little insult to injury to Rader. So there are other drivers around him. Let's look at the points right now. Tay McDonald. Where is Tay McDonald? Currently 14th.
Top 20 right now. Yeah, top 15.
Caleb Gilbert, I think, is having a tough day. He's out of this race right now in 30th. Trevor Erhardt just parked it. He is 26th. He'll fall down probably to the 28th spot if Rader's able to keep rolling. Alex Forget, we've already documented his day. Harrison's in 10th and 11th. So you're seeing here that Burns is really going to pull away in the points today. This is a bad day if you're a top 10 points car. unless you are the leader.
Yeah, for sure. And also, for a guy like Jackson McGeorge, who currently sits 19th, this could be a big opportunity to reel in a lot of those guys ahead of you. He's now up to 8th and closing in on 6th and 7th here, Thorpe and Fike. But we're going to go on board with Grant Turner for a minute. Get a little foot cam action, see what the gas and the brake are doing around here at Sonoma. We also want to make note of the fact ahead of time, folks, this camera feed is a wee bit slower than the live feed of the race. So if it doesn't look like it's perfectly lined up, that was why, but you get a good idea of what Turner's dealing with going around Sonoma here.
He's trying to work under Sam Taylor, loose on the steering wheel. As you get an idea of visibility too, you can't see a darn thing around this racetrack. Feels like every corner is blind. Look how busy Grant Turner's feet are. Tap dancing on the pedals.
We've got a we love that foot cam in chat, so that's how you know we've officially peaked as a broadcast entity, I think.
More feet cam drivers, more feet cam. I expect to see 30 of them next week. Let's go.
I'm sure that'd be riveting content for Iowa.
It will be. I can tell you that. You can use the brake in Iowa. You can't just roll it in there.
True.
Feather the brake pedal. Come on.
That probably explains why I've never finished a race at Iowa.
That tells us a lot about how Alex Gagnon drives a stock car. I'll tell you that much. Look at here.
Boy, I'm looking at this this battle for 6 here, Thorpe and Fike. They've been battling most of this race, but you got that 98 car starting to close in a little bit more each and passing lap, especially when the 10 car is going to put it out in the dirt a little bit.
Let's ride on board for a lap with Jackson McGeorge and just kind of see what this driver does. Just listen to how smooth everything is. Not a lot of wheel spin. He has been incredibly smooth so far today.
Really curious to see how he gets into turn 11 here.
Heavy on the brake pedal, down to second gear, wrap the curb. And don't spin the tires up off the corner. That's how you get through 11. Textbook by the 98. Harrison having an issue. Losing a few spots.
I would say about 3 issues here if he's not careful. Loveland and Dave McDonald lurking as well. Loveland gets on by. Here goes the 29, going to try and potentially make a move. We'll settle back in for now.
Under a blanket. Interesting how these things converge. Oh, there goes McGeorge.
Oh, the 98's around.
2 corners after we told him just how smooth everything was going. He finds himself off in the dirt. 14th position now for Jackson McGeorge. I'll put my hand up and say that one's on me, Jackson.
That's a rough case of the commentator's curse if I've ever seen one.
Yes. Well, it's gone from Carter Linz to that's unfortunate. Jackson McGeorge. If it means anything, a couple weeks later, Carter Linz was able to win at Texas. So I think there's a chance for you yet, Jackson McGeorge.
Oh, the 99 really sending it there in the 10. You can see the back end really wanting to step out on him. But he's just going to keep wheeling and dealing right now, trying to stay ahead of the 02 of Loveland, which is easier said than done as the 02 crowding his mirror right now as they make their way toward the start-finish line.
The battle behind him as well, side by side for the 12th position. Oh, into the wall a little bit, Dave McDonald. Really trying to get that wide entry into 1. Might get around Harrison here. Not quite. They're still side by side. Into turn 3. McDonald's going to get it here. Moves Tate McDonald up to the 12th position.
Been a pretty solid day for a couple of these guys as I just keep coming back to this battle. Thorpe and John Fike. They've just continued to duke it out for 6th and 7th. 77's had that advantage since the stage break, but that 10 car has not let them get away. And just when we thought they were going to have company, not the case. And this battle can continue unimpeded with these two guys. Just the 10 really locked it up there into 11, and 77 a little loose off.
It is not good for it. Forget 20th, still +1 from where he started. After all the chaos that this 19 has had, run right behind the Candyman, who's up 6 positions.
Gonna try and make the move here as well into 11, and will do so.
Little lock up there, nothing to write home about, however. Let's talk about big movers in this race, shall we?
Let's do it.
James Loveland, 20 positions, 31st to 11th.
Wow.
For the 02. 14 spots gained for Matt Robinson. Good run so far.
That's despite the contact with the 66 in stage 1.
Sure is. Dylan Picklesheimer +10, 27 to 17. Daryl Johnson, 33 to 23, +10 as well. Christopher Schaefer's up 9, simply just through surviving, which sometimes that's all you got to do here. I don't think
it's
Schaefer...
more than, yeah, I mean, it's maybe not the prettiest way to pick up 9 spots, but that's still 9 spots gained with other cars that weren't able to say the same.
I don't think Schaefer had this one circled on the calendar as one he was excited for, but nonetheless, he showed up, and for that, we applaud you, driver of the 23, running currently 25th, to try and gain some more spots here before the day is over. Grant Thorpe is up 8, Kyle Diaz up 7, but your front 2 are running exactly where they started. There they are, both in the frame. How convenient for us. Jeremy Burns up 6.2 on Trevor Keith.
He had a really good lap last time around. It was only a moment ago. He was 4.5 seconds ahead of Keith. Now it's opened it up to nearly 6.5. So that 9 car really locked in right now. And the 15, I mean, I would say that he has some concern from those behind, but I mean, he's still 3 seconds clear of Kyle Diaz. So right now, the 15 in his own little world, as you see Forget get around Hudgens there, going up through turns 2 and 3. And as they'll make their way back to 4, the 19, now that he's no longer spinning, starting to find some stability, starting to find some track position.
And McJordan can see if he can get back up to the 7th spot where he was before he spun. Just a handful of laps ago, he's currently working on Tyler Harrison for 13th position. Big slide into 10, able to keep it pointed in the right direction. I'm curious to know what these drivers think of this car at Sonoma, if they're a fan of it. I think Jeremy Burns is. I don't know about the rest of these drivers. But I am curious to know if it's got more grip than, say, the Xfinity car or the truck or whatever have you. So a lot of fun we've had so far watching this event. 32 laps in out of 55.
This battle for 9th, 10th, and 11th starting to take shape a little bit. Loveland's really getting to the back bumper of Stewart now. He's going to try and close in a little bit here in 4. You can try and set him up. There's really 3 main passing areas at this track. 2 of them are really preferred. 1 of them is in a pinch. And those are turns 4, 7, and 11. You see them go through 7 there. Loveland almost looked to the inside, but now going to settle back in behind. Turn 7 and 11, those are the prime opportunities to try and outbrake someone and make the pass. And turn 4, you probably can, but it's really narrow through there. So unless the person is going to give you a little bit of room, you might end up wiping both of yourselves out. So as they make their way into 11 here, Loveland got a great run through 10. He'll look to the inside. And now the 0-2 into the top 10. Just as we were talking about passing zones, turns 11 is one of those best places to do so. And Loveland takes that advice to great effect.
Let's ride on board with Quentin Stewart through a lap here and just see how you do it. You're through 1, really rough, trying to downshift this car. Lined hill of turn 2. Don't get into the throttle too hard or you'll spin it out.
Psychologically, it's got to be tough to downshift while driving uphill.
Yeah.
Like psychologically, it just feels like something you shouldn't do, but it's what you need to do here at Sonoma.
Definitely is. Down into turn 4, heavy braking. Don't hit the curb too much, but just a little bit. Don't hit that wall. That'll end your day. Short shoot to 7A. 7? I don't know. Too many letters. Hard to say.
It's 7. This, I think, is 8, and then I think they count this little bit as 8A for some reason.
Down through the S's. Deceivingly slow corner right here. And it gets a lot faster into turn 10. Short shoot into 11. Final passing zone on the course, as Alex mentioned. Ooh, just about got into the tire barrier there, did Quentin Stewart.
Oh, Jeff Israel out of shape, getting through turn 11, nearly stacked up both Grant Turner and James Loveland.
Then the kink, and then your start-finish line. That is a lap around Sonoma. Very difficult race course to get around here successfully.
Absolutely, it's a lot of corners that look like you should attack them one way, but you have to differently. A lot of either off-speed ones, or that the change in elevation also throws people sometimes as well.
The sheer amount of blind corners here is just mind-boggling.
It's ridiculous.
It is unreal. One driver
it's
who
like
it's not
if
phasing.
someone,
obviously Jeremy Burns, but
yeah.
Go ahead, Alex.
I was gonna say, if there's one, it's almost as like someone looked at the blind corkscrew at Laguna Seca and said, we should make a track out of this exact concept.
I want more of that. Give me more. Yes, I think
Yeah.
that is exactly what happened here at Sonoma.
You can give me far less of it. I have never once gotten through the corkscrew successfully at Laguna Seca. I either crawl through it or just go flying into the abyss.
Well, you want to talk about a driver whose car looks like he just ran 500 laps in Martinsville. Michael Bennett,
Yeah.
currently in 3rd position. Kyle Diaz. Oh, we're talking pit stops right now. Parker Johnson, Kyle Diaz, Justice Murphy, who is off the racetrack currently. Quentin Stewart hitting pit road as well. Tay McDonald's pitting.
McDonald, yeah.
We found ourselves in a bit of a pit window, I would say. 20 laps to go. Once Jeremy Burns comes back around to pick up the flag. In fact, he might be coming to pit road as well.
Yeah, I'm about to say, with a couple of those cars pitting when they did, you'd think they'd force the leaders to do so, and they will. Burns not going to let those cars try and get the tire advantage over him,
Trevor
like we
Keith,
saw
same
this
thing.
week with Busher and Larson. So Trevor Keith going to come down pit road as well, same
Bennett.
with Michael Bennett.
And then a ways
And
back
now
to John
it's
Fike.
a big ways back to Fike and Thorpe, who the 10 has finally gotten around the 77. Every time we've seen this battle for the past 15 laps, the 77 was ahead, but sometime in the past lap or so, Fike got the advantage. He's going to immediately peel it down pit road, as will Travis Gilbert. Grant Thorpe gonna pop out here ahead of several of these cars.
Like he's trying to
Will
get the
he
lap
pass
led.
Burns and Keith?
I don't know if he will, because Burns has pitted so far down pit road, he will not get the lap led. As Burns should be exiting pit road already. There he is, comes out in front of the 77. And it's
Now
coming
at
off
this point, if you're the 9, you've got such a gap over everyone else who's come down pit road. The only thing you can ask for is clean, consistent laps the last 20 laps or so, and you'll be in good shape making your way to the end.
The gap has grown back to Trevor Keith. It's now 8.6 seconds from your leader, Jeremy Burns, back to 3rd place at the moment. A lot of drivers on pit road. Gilbert, McGeorge, Harrison's on pit road. The 18's on pit road.
As is the 19 of Forget.
You're right. So is Hudgens just made his pit stop. Holloway also. A lot of drivers find themselves in the middle of the cycle.
Obviously, it has not changed who our leader is up front. It's still Jeremy Burns, but curious, once this pit cycle runs through, will there be any major changes to
John
the running
Fike's
order?
around.
Whoa.
Big
He
slide
had just
for
come
the
down
10.
pit road.
He did. Let's cold tires. Figure out what happened to the 10. Here we are rolling into 4. A little too much curb, maybe. That's exactly what it was. Too much curb for the 10.
Basically the exact thing we saw with the 18 to Sirkovich back at the start of stage 2. You catch a little too much curb getting into 4, and the car gets completely off balance as you kind of slide across the track into the other set of curbing. And with the car already so disrupted, it is really easy to, the moment you catch that second bit of curbing or put any kind of throttle in it trying to catch it, the car just loops.
Closest battle on the racetrack, Quentin Stewart, Grant Turner for the 8th position. Only battle within a car length at this particular moment. This is another good one right here. For the 18th spot, Holloway and Hudgens. Door to door off of 11. Give it to the 84 at this particular moment. Almost 15 laps to go. How about? I was telling Alex.
Pass there from Devin Hudgens.
I was telling Alex, there goes Grant Thorpe to pit road before the broadcast. You could be a mathematician, and then the camera turns on, and you can barely add 2 numbers together. I don't know what it is about broadcasting. I don't know if it's just V-speed. I don't know what it is. We are not good at math when the lights shine bright.
You know, the Racing Revolution here, they may have brought on V-Speed for a number of reasons. Our ability to add on the fly, certainly not one of them.
Counting is hard. Math is hard. Oh, big off the racetrack for the 14. He used all of it.
That was quite the runoff there from the 14, and that could have been really disastrous. It's really hard to get back out of there if you drive in too deep. And he's currently sitting in a really nice 4th place. That could have definitely been jeopardized, although he's got a pretty healthy gap back to the rest of the top 10. You know, he would have had a good 26 seconds between him and 6th. So while things are a little more heating up for 6th, 7th, and then 8th, 9th, and 10th, up in the top 5, everyone's a little spread out at the moment. And then looking at this is still this battle with Holloway and Hudgens. And now you can add Orlando Jr. to the mix.
And they're getting lapped right now. That's Jeremy Burns, your leader.
Oh, look at that.
Lapping inside the top 20. Talking about how fast that 9 car is. That's how fast the 9 car is. Be careful here. Don't go 3 wide into turn 4. That is a less than ideal maneuver.
Curious to see where Burns tries to set up this pass. Hudgens had been pretty stout so far today. I mean, he is running in the top 20, but the 9 gets him to the inside of 7 and will pull away.
Kind of breaks up the battle just a little bit. We got a good one here. Jackson McGeorge, Quentin Stewart, who had a couple tough laps in a row. This is for 10th. McGeorge really going wide in turn 1. I don't know if I was trying to get some momentum or if he just missed the braking zone a little bit.
I thought I saw a little bit of smoke. I think he may have locked it up a little bit getting in there.
Down here into 4. I think McGeorge has just been really strong in the braking zones all day. Able to get that car rotated and kind of sliding through the corner without hurting the tires. That seems to be what's going on. This lap traffic.
You can only wonder.
Go ahead.
You can only wonder what that 98 would have been doing up at the front of the field if he didn't have that penalty to serve at the start of it. He qualified 3rd, and clearly he's had some good pace. So it's been an uphill battle for him all day today. As you see Burns get around Holloway. Another car goes a lap down inside the top 20 here. That 9 machine just indestructible right now. Just cruising past cars that have had a decent bit of pace today. Only 16 cars remain on the lead lap. Last car right now, John Fike, who had been running in the top 10 most of the day, but that spin in turn 4 has now put him in a bit of a jeopardizing position.
You mentioned pace. The lead's been cut in half due to that lap traffic trying to get around the 21. Trevor Keith, Kyle Diaz are about as close to nose to tail as we've seen the top 3 today. Oh, Hudgens off the course in 10. See him do a little
We've seen him already overshoot 10 once today. That's the 2nd time. Now that 84 car has looked pretty good in most parts of the track. Turn 10 seems to be just a little bit of an issue, getting it slowed down enough to get that car rotated.
We have a battle for 2nd. Brewing here just a little bit as now we are 15 laps to go. Here from Sonoma, Grant Turner locked on the back bumper of Tay McDonald.
Nice little battle for
43
eighth.
seconds back of the leader for 8th.
I mean, the speed the Nines had has just been unreal. Keith and Diaz keeping a single-digit number in seconds behind, but I mean, after the top 5, the gap just balloons from Johnston to Thorpe. It's 20 seconds between 5th and 6th. So,
Harrison with an issue.
45 is really beat up.
Lost the nose. Oh, he can't turn it at all. Let's see if we can see if this was a recent incident. How far back it was. Oh, there's a nose on it right there. So this must have been a recent incident. We're down through the S's. This happened in turn 10. He just missed the braking zone.
Oh, and hammered that outside wall. We were just talking about Hudgens overshooting 10. Didn't even look like the 45 could rotate through it. It looked like it just went straight on into that outside wall. That's terminal.
And that is a day ender for the 45. I'm not going to show the driver cam as it is, it's just dejection. We don't need to see that on camera right now. Tough break for the 45. Hate to see that for his day. Running around the top 10 most of the day.
And another driver in the top 10 in points coming into today who's going to leave with not a ton of points after an issue on track. So he was 6th and one of the few guys in the top 10 who were having a pretty decent run. And that's certainly gonna hurt him. As looks like Matt Robinson, Grant Turner, Jackson McGeorge, 3 guys on the outside. Add Michael Bennett to that is a little bit of contact there with Sirkovich and Robinson. A lot of guys in that 14th through 19th bit all going to have a really solid points day today, while a lot of the guys 2nd through 10th are not going to. It's going to really ball up, I think, a lot of the points here.
Well, there are only 2 drivers on the left-hand side of that column in the top 20. Jeremy Burns, Daniel Holloway, 1st and 16th, respectively. That tells you how difficult Sonoma is, and how much
We
it is going
got
to
Tay McDonald in there. Tay McDonald's running 8th.
Tay McDonald? Oh, I missed Tay McDonald. Apologies, Tay McDonald.
You got 3.
You are 8th. Still proves the point, 3 out of 10. Not a great ratio of drivers having a good top 20 day here at Sonoma. Thank you for keeping me honest, Alex.
I'm trying to where I can. Technically, we could add Forget to that as well, currently running 14th, but, I figured we'll leave it at the 3.
Ah, goodness gracious. All right. Oh, I get it. I was wrong. Let it go, man. Let it go.
Either way, I mean, Matt Robinson, what an eventful day that he's had. Started 29th, bounced around through part of the mid-pack through the early going here, and now has nestled his way into 13th. And maybe one of the few cars that will finish this race on the lead lap as Jeremy Burns keeps picking them off one by one. That one car, maybe not the fastest car on track today, but it's going to be a really solid points day for him.
Jeremy Burns is lurking back here behind the 10. You can see that bright blue car just passing by the flag stand.
There he is.
E-Speed's own James Loveland up 24 positions, biggest mover of the race, 31st to 7th.
He's having a great drive.
That's getting after it for sure.
And he might be able to pick up one more here before the end of this one. Grant Thorpe only a couple car lengths ahead of him. After that, it's about 20 seconds to Parker Johnston, but one more obtainable spot here for Loveland potentially if he can find his way around that Tennessee machine just ahead. Grant Thorpe also putting in a really solid day's work here, currently running in the 6th position. And looking at it, you've also got a bit of a battle for 9th. Grant Turner, Jackson McGeorge, little nose to tail going up through the field as John Fikes off track.
Issue for the 10. Let's go back and find out what happened. In the 7.
There with Picklesheimer.
And just spun it and into the barrels for Fike.
And I think he just elected to get that thing towed the pit road.
Does it look high above Sonoma?
Now that's one more car now off the lead lap. That number has shrunk to 14.
Quentin Stewart's around.
Oh boy.
What happened to him? Fatigue starting to set in for a lot of these drivers.
I'm sure. I mean, this is a long race, especially if you're not someone who's particularly acclimated to road courses. 55 laps at Sonoma is a grueling endeavor.
Oh, just
It's
caught
got
that
a little
curb
too
wrong.
much curb.
That's right. Good job not to hit anything, to keep it locked down so everyone could avoid him.
Yeah. And a good job there to make sure he didn't back into Matt Robinson. So he continues here on the lead lap, last car on the lead lap. Quentin Stewart, not a regular here in the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series, but when he does make an appearance, it's had a pretty good run, I believe. I mean, currently running 14th. It's been up in the top 10 a good bit of the day. And this is the battle for 9th, Turner and McGeorge.
Justin McGeorge, even though he's found himself a little bit of contact on the nose, he spun around a time or two, started in the back off a penalty. He finds himself still in the 10th position. That doesn't tell you what kind of speed that car's got. I don't know what will. Talented driver behind the wheel, and he just needed a road course to show it. It has not been a great season for that 98, but he's showing why he's in this league here tonight.
For sure. I mean, to that degree as well. Same deal with the 39 at Grant Turner. It's not been nearly as eventful maybe for the 39 as it has the 98, but Grant Turner's had a stellar night so far tonight. Been mixing it up inside the top 10 all night. There's a little bit of lockup there. Might let the 98 get on by. I think McGeorge might be able to do it here down the front straightaway. Nope, Turner got to slide back in front. Determined to hold on the 9th there is Grant Turner.
And he can finally use that Thrustmaster formula wheel for good. Remember, he runs that wheel at every racetrack, including super speedways. Finally a track where it's well suited here on the road course at Sonoma. Pretty good job here. 9th position on the surface of the sun.
If the sun also had an EDM festival at the same time.
It's a party. Oh, McGeorge around again.
Oh! You could see the reaction just as we were cutting away from Grant Turner. He saw that in his mirror. You could see the excitement. So he's going to try and get that thing rolling. I don't even think he's going to lose a spot. He'll lose one here at the Jacob Sirkovich. And that will be the only position McGeorge loses. And maybe not even that. Zal Lyken's trying to bail out of the way here and let these guys figure it out for 10th.
Under 10 laps to go from Sonoma. Jeremy Burns leads. He has led every single one of them. From the pole, won the stage. It has been a perfect race to this point for the Mountain Man. Second spot belongs to Trevor Keefe, who has ran in second for every lap of this race. Still trying to chase down the 9. Kyle Diaz finds himself in third. Solid day for him, up 7 spots.
It's been a very solid day for Diaz.
Michael Bennett up 3 from 7th. He is in the 4th position. Parker Johnston, he is running in the 5th spot. Will round out that top 5. Uneventful for the 48, other than a little contact at the top of turn number 2. Grant Thorpe in the 77 is in 6th. James Loveland, V-Speed Zone, finds himself up 24 spots in 7th position. Hay McDonald in 8th, up 12. Grant Turner, you're just on board with him on the surface of the sun. He is in the 9th spot. Jacob Sirkovich finds himself 10th. Jackson McGeorge from the back to the front, to the back to the front, to the back to the front. He is 11th in the 98. Matt Robinson in 12th. Last driver on the lead lap, Alex Forget-Baru right behind him. You can see Jeremy Burns lurking in the background. Quentin Stewart, first driver, 1 down in 14th. Daniel Holloway, the Candyman, 15th position, up 10 from where he started. Travis Gilbert, 16th position. Devin Hudgens had some issues with turn 10. He finds himself 17th, 1 lap down. Dustin Reinstedel, 18th, 1 lap down. No telemetry. He can be named, though. Al Likens is in the 40. He is 19th. Last driver, 1 lap down. Picklesheimer, 43, finds himself 20th. Daryl Johnson in the 49, surviving in 21st, 2 down. Kevin Orlando Jr., 22nd, 5 down. 2 more drivers running in this race. Tyler Harrison on pit road, Robert Rader on pit road. Drivers out of the race, John Fike, Jeff Israel Jr., Christopher Schaefer, Sam Taylor, Trevor Erhardt, Caleb Gilbert, Justice Murphy, Carter Lind, Chris Nail, Brandon Richardson. Oh, we got it.
Yeah. Quite the rundown there. Impressive work, sir.
There's
See
a
how
lot.
Likens get out of the way of Jeremy Burns.
There's a lot happening. I can tell you that much right now.
Tell you what, might have a little interesting battle going on for fourth. Looks like Michael Bennett might have some company here from Parker
Picklesheimer.
Johnston as
Goodness
Picklesheimer
gracious.
goes way wide in 4.
I want to have a look at that. Let's go see what the heck happened there. Just trying to get out of the way, but he sure did that.
That's certainly one way to word it. Looked like he was about to drive it all the way down to Sacramento.
Yeah, he just simply didn't want to do that corner, I guess. Said,
Who can blame him, honestly?
You can have it.
A lot of cars have spun in turn 4 today.
You can have it, he said to
As,
Bennett and
Johnston and Bennett here, the battle for 4th is on.
These two, the closest 2 cars on the racetrack for position. Can argue that Matt Robinson and Alex Forget are the same. We'll come back in just a second to see those two. As it stretches out a little bit for 3rd. Let's go
The
back
big
and see
question
these
is
two.
going to be, well, it's going to be if Johnson could hold through the top bit there to make a move in 4 or 7. But looking here, Forget and Robinson, 2 cars that have rallied through their respective issues tonight to put themselves in a position to get some decent points out of tonight. See if Forget makes a dive here into 11.
Oh, he's locked it
He's
up
getting
already.
really deep and locked it all the way into 11.
The thing about that move that I do like is he was able to be controlled enough to get his foot off the brake. If he would have just kept his foot planted, he would have slid right into the side of the 1. He ends up making the pass as well. That's a power move.
The 1 was very wide through turn 11, so the lockup actually didn't cost him all that much because I think Robinson thought Forget was just going to slide right into him, so he tried going a bit wider, and ultimately I think it cost him the spot.
Bennett a little bit wide here in turn 11. Allows Parker Johnson to close back in to only 0.8 back. Other than that, we have seconds between every driver in this field, other than the aforementioned battle we just saw happen.
They're about to have some company with race leader Jeremy Burns closing in as well. If he gets around both of them, it would only leave 11 cars on the lead lap. Just an unbelievable ride from Jeremy Burns tonight.
Well, he's I think this smile says it all. Well, he was smiling, he's not anymore. He was definitely smiling there for a minute. I think he's I think it might be starting to set in just how dominant this race has been for the 9. But he's still got 5 laps to go, 4 when he crosses the line.
Just makes it look real smooth.
He really does.
A little bit of a walk up there, I think, from the 1 of Robinson. As we jump ahead here, McGeorge has gotten around Sirkovich, but maybe not for long. That 18 starting to get a little bit closer in the mirror of the 98. It's not been a super eventful night for Sirkovich outside of the time we saw him get spun in turn 4. And he's been able to put together a pretty solid effort here tonight, trying to knock down a top 10 effort if he can get back around the 98.
Hudgens working on Reinstedel. These two drivers both 1 lap down. Both these cars look like they just finished a short track event, similar to the 14 mentioned earlier, 500 laps at Martinsville. Reinstedel's got
these guys
both front
look like
fenders.
they could be helping out the All About Bugs folks. They've probably caught every gnat and fly here in Sonoma. A lot of dirt getting kicked up out here today.
He said it. Wasn't me. Picklesheimer, Likens going at it here in the S's. What it's nice to see is that this deep in a race, when very obviously, they're both off track.
Whoa!
They're really going at it. This deep in the run, racing for 19th position. These guys are still getting at it, and they are getting at it. Let me tell you, they're both wide in 11. This might be a battle to watch here for the rest
Quite
of this
the
event.
scrap going on with Likens and Picklesheimer. They gloves are off here for 19th.
What I was going to say there was that it's just nice to see drivers want to race for whatever position is available, even though we're out here both missing the corner. We're slipping and sliding all over the place. This is some really aggressive driving back here, but really fun to watch. But I mean, they're going at it for 19th position. Like, this is what iRacing is all. This is what racing is all about. It's just refreshing to see guys who care enough to race this hard, even though their chances of winning are zero at this point. But they're out here having fun, getting after it. That's what we like to see out of this series and iRacing as a whole.
100%. As you see, Ryan Settle slip on past the 84. That was a pass for position. They're battling for 17th. One lap down here is Ryan Settle and Hudgens. Still no telemetry for the 11. We'll have to see if we can get that fixed for next week. But
I have he's the only one who does not have telemetry.
It is the only car.
I don't know why. It's strange. 2 laps to go. 12 cars on the lead lap. Jeremy Burns
might be
leads
11
it.
at the end of this one.
Back to Forget, who is right in front of him. Pass for third. Oh, we're pitting again. Can't make it on fuel.
Oh, that's heartbreaking for Diaz. He was running third. Needs to top off. All of a sudden now I wonder, for those cars who pit the lap before Burns, do they have enough to make it to the end? Did Diaz simply underfuel the car, or is this a sign of a bigger issue for some of the cars up front?
Well, we'll have to see if Burns is going to pit this time. He might have to. Might take a splash and go on the final lap. He's got a 9-second lead. I don't know what to think here. Trevor Keith pitted on the same lap. What happens to Jeremy Burns here? He will take 11 the normal way and get that lap and lap the 19 of Forget. So Burns must have enough fuel to make it to the end. Trevor Keith thinks so as well. Michael Bennett still in the S's, 20 seconds behind.
So Diaz will fall from 3rd to 5th. Looks like Bennett's going to stay out as well. I wonder if the 26 just underfueled the car, thinking he was going to have enough to the end and then couldn't make it. Because it looks like everyone else is staying out here.
That could have been an oboe. An off by 1 error. Those computer programmers in the
V-Speed would
crowd
know a thing or two about that, that's for sure.
So many times. But those computer programmers in the crowd know what I'm talking about. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the white flag presented by Erhardt Homes. Love where you live. Jeremy Burns halfway through it, down through the S's for the final time tonight. Rolling through, this is one of them, 9 maybe, I don't really know. Into turn 10.
A dominant effort.
Absolutely incredible effort for the driver of the 9 into 11 for the final time. He's gonna lead them all. Off of turn number 11. Into the kink. Jeremy Burns is gonna win at Sonoma.
A flawless 55 for 55 on laps led as well. Led all 110 miles out here tonight.
There's some excitement. There it is. He knows that he just, that's one for the table. That's all I got to say. I mean, you lead every lap of a race from the pole and the stage and everything. Yeah, you got a reason to smile. Congratulations, Jeremy Burns. You earned this one.
Yeah, and it wasn't like everyone behind him was like wrecking or blowing up and it left him the winner by default. I mean, Trevor Keith ran a really solid race, kept him honest. Wasn't able to get too far away from the 15 there over the course of this one, but Jeremy Burns just that much quicker lap after lap. Was able to open up that gap and never looked back.
Incredible drive. For the 9, watch him burn it down here through the S to see how good his drifting skills are with Forget trying to do the 2s right behind him. See if they can drift through here together. Maybe, maybe not. Big slide through 10. Oh, look at that.
And puts it into the inside
A
wall.
little past Tech now. He's in good shape. Questionable before, but that is your race winner, Jeremy Burns. We'll be back right after this. You have been watching the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series. The All About Bugs 110. We'll be back right after this with your results and interviews of your top 3. Don't go anywhere. Scratch that. We got to interview Jeremy Burns.
Oh,
Oh
alrighty.
my god, I forgot. I forgot how this works. Goodness gracious.
Now, to be fair, it's a recent change.
It is a recent change. Let's go find your winner.
I can drag him on in here if
And
you'd
let's
like.
have a chat with him.
Here we go.
Jeremy Burns, Morgan and Alex up in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, we almost completely forgot about this segment. You kind of put us to sleep up here, just going out there and leading every lap from the pole and all that stuff. But I kid, obviously. Huge congrats. Leads every lap, wins the pole, wins the stage. Absolutely picture-perfect race. Just tell us something we don't know about this event.
It was a lot of fun. um, it was really tough. With TK there, he was very competitive within practice, and even in qualifying, he was within a tenth. So, very, very intense there, and a lot closer than anyone would necessarily like. But yeah, no. It was all about executing, right? From the drop of practice, trying to figure out what the temperatures do, how the car is going to handle in the lower temperatures, and then nailing qualifying, and then having the strategy. I was thinking about flipping the stage, but it ended up not being the right call, and nobody else flipped the stage. So that put us in a position to lead both the start of the race and then the restart of the race. And then after that, it was about crowd control, and we had to save a little bit of fuel in that last run. But other than that, it felt pretty good. And overall, just another solid race, another great road course win. And you never know when you're going to win your next one. So we try to celebrate every one that we get.
And you sure celebrated by drifting all the way around this 1.99 mile facility. Now, I'm not sure if you are aware, you were one of the few drivers in points in the top 10 or so to not have a bad day. Are you aware of some of the issues other drivers have had this in this race today?
I don't know. It's just we've been consistent all year, right? And even in that, when it comes to road course racing, the name of the game is to be consistent, right? You can be as fast as you want, but if you slip up every 3 laps, then you're going to lose time like no other. And I think that's what's so cool about the streak that we have going on here with the road course wins is it takes so much consistency, and you have to be on it every time to put yourself in a position to do so. So, just hats off to everybody. My teammates helped me out a lot. Uh, Shout out to everybody in the league for coming out and participating and run all the laps. I know that can be a little tiresome because 55 laps is a long time around Sonoma, but everybody was really good tonight. All the lap traffic was really nice, and I made sure to thank every single one of them because without them, they could have made it extremely difficult. But at the end of the day, they decided to be nice, and they deserve to be thanked.
You're a pretty fit guy. How you feeling after 55 laps here at Sonoma?
Well, let me tell you about the T150. It ain't got hardly any force feedback, so I feel fine. Let's go run another 55, and the pedals themselves don't have any feeling either. So I feel pretty good. I'm definitely not going to practice anymore tonight. I know that we have the 6 hour of the Glen coming up. I'm not going to practice that, especially in the rain because it sucks. But yeah, overall feeling really good. Definitely a little amped up right now because of the wind, but overall just feeling really good about the victory.
I'll tell you what, I thought you were going to sell me a workout regimen there for a second, the way that you jumped into that statement. Let's run through your ever growing list of shout outs and let's move this thing on. Congratulations, Jeremy.
Thank you. Yeah, I got to shout out TK first off. That was a heck of a battle there, and he was definitely one of the most competitive guys out there tonight. So huge shout out to him. Huge shout out to my mom and dad, Josie, Dylan, Coach P, Sonny, My grandma, Miss Betsy, for their continued support. Julie, Derek, Caroline, Shan, Belinda, any other supporters of the league, for any other drivers. So huge shout out to them for sticking through that. Element X Racing, don't have the jersey on, but the team out there was really helpful tonight. And Chapman Environmental for being on the hood in the patriotic scheme. Huge shout out to all the first responders, military personnel. That scheme's for them. They put so much on the line for us, so gotta give them a huge shout out for giving me the opportunity to come out here and race. So that's awesome. The other sponsors of the league, Buttkicker, Coastal Financial, Ultimate Exterior Light, Erhardt Homes, and All About Bugs for sponsoring the race tonight. And of course, you guys up here in V Speed, y'all do an amazing job, and I can't wait to go back and watch this back and see what everybody else is up to tonight.
Yeah, it was a fun one to say the least here at Sonoma, but I imagine this is one for the table. Big letters.
Yeah, I actually haven't put the All-Star win one on yet, so we're gonna go for the 2-for-1. But that's my second time going back to back, so really excited. Coming out of that All-Star break, keeping up the momentum, and unfortunately, we're not gonna be there at Iowa next week, but we're gonna look forward to the next week. I think that'd be New Hampshire, and we won there last year, so definitely try to keep the momentum up, and we'll take it in not next week, but for the week after.
Right on. Well, good luck next time out. That is your winner at Sonoma, Jeremy Burns. All right, and with that interview, we are now going to go to commercial for real this time. Again, you've been watching Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series, the All About Bugs 110 here at Sonoma. After this, we will have your race results and interviews with second and third. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Chapman's been around for 32, almost 33 years. It's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we've built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today. One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
All About Bugs Tennessee Pest and Termite Control is all about family too. Our family-owned business has successfully been in operation in Sevierville and surrounding areas for almost a decade. Especially during these times, a pest-free home is necessary for a sustainable, disease-free home or business. Our services include residential, rental, commercial, hotel, motel, cabins, you name it. Free quotes and inspections for new customers, and most of our services are contract-free. Our All About Bugs Tennessee family is devoted to delivering the best possible pest control service with a friendly smile. Contact us at 865-453-5574 today.
If it's bugging you, you should be bugging us.
We are back here at Sonoma with the results of the All About Bugs 110. One caution, 0 lead changes. That about says it all. Jeremy Burns went out there and he whipped this field. Started on pole, led the most laps, won the stage, won the race. Trevor Keith came home in second after doing everything I just said, but in second every single lap of this race. Great run for TK. Michael Bennett finished in third. Kyle Diaz is fourth. Thorpe finishes fifth. B-Speed's Loveland comes home in the sixth spot after gaining 25 positions. Turner is going to finish at 7. 8, McGeorge. He did crack the top 10 and finish there after serving a penalty. Sirkovich in 9th. Tay McDonald rounds out your top 10.
Back in 11th, it's Parker Johnston, who was in the top 5 on that final lap. Something must have happened to the 48 there. It'll be the last car on the lead lap, just ahead of Alex Forget, who, despite his very turbulent evening, still brings it home in P12. Matt Robinson brings it home 13th tonight. Quentin Stewart, in his part-time schedule, brings it home 14th, ahead of Travis Gilbert, he's 22. Ryan Settle brings it home 16th tonight, ahead of Devin Hudgens and Dan Holloway. And 18th, Dylan Picklesheimer, 19th there in the 43, and Al Likens in 20th.
21st, Johnson in the 49. Kevin Orlando Jr. finishes 22nd. Tyler Harrison ran well, had an issue, finishes 23rd. John Fike, 24th. All these drivers with significant issues in this race. Jeff Israel Jr., 20 laps down in 25th. Christopher Schaefer, 25 down, finishes in 26th. Sam Taylor, rough night, 27, up 1 from where he started. Trevor Erhardt, that tide ride did not fare too well. 28th, 32 laps down. Robert Rader, 29th. Caleb Gilbert, his teammate, in 30th.
And the last 4 cars in the field tonight, Justice Murphy, Carter Linz, Chris Nail, and Brandon Richardson, all finishing well off the lead lap here tonight. 44 or more laps down, 31st through 34th, respectively.
And that is your field here tonight. It was a wild one, a surprisingly wild race at Sonoma. But Alex Gagnon has caught up with your third place finisher, Michael Bennett.
Alrighty, we're here with driver of the 14, third place finisher, Michael Bennett. Michael, congrats on the podium run. Talk to us a little bit about your night. It seemed like you were having some pretty good battles throughout the event here tonight with a couple of other guys in the top 10, Kyle Diaz, Parker Johnston. What was it like kind of battling in and around the top 5 tonight?
Man, it was awesome. Last year we finished 4th here, so behind Trevor Erhardt. He didn't have a great run tonight, but this is what we were looking for: get our first podium on a road course. But these guys, honestly, if it wasn't for fuel strategies, I probably would have finished 5th. Kyle and Parker they had something else that I just couldn't find out there. So, I'm super glad that they chose to pit a lap earlier than me, because I was limping it around the end just to get to the picture. So it was very close on fuel, but great race. Always a good time.
Yeah, it seemed like you were having a good time out there and, qualified pretty well in the top 10, but then were able to make up a few spots. With this being the first podium that you've had here on the road courses in Racing Revolution, what does this mean for the next couple road courses coming up on the schedule? I know that they are plentiful here through the summer when it comes to places like Chicago, and then you've also got the Glen come the fall.
So feeling pretty good about it. With road courses, I feel like I'm one of the faster guys in the league, probably top 7, really. So very optimistic. I haven't ran Chicago Street. Last time we went there, I was on vacation, so I didn't get to run that one. So that'll be interesting to kind of feel that one out. The Glen's pretty fun. As long as you can keep it on track, you'll have a pretty good time. Hopefully this means, we've kind of made our shout out, like, hey, when road courses come around, my name will get thrown out there in that conversation of the quickest guys in the league. So hopefully we'll just continue to build on this momentum, and whether it's road courses or ovals, just kind of build on this momentum and keep pushing through the season.
Yeah, and obviously a great points day here for you with the third place finish, also with the stage points. A lot of drivers in the points ahead of you did not have a great night tonight. It was an uncharacteristically bad night for a lot of drivers in the top 10, top 12 or so in points. And that should definitely get you bunched up a lot closer with some of these guys moving next week to Iowa. Does that how does that feel going into next week, knowing that you're have really closed the gap to a lot of these guys in front of you?
It feels good. Really, the only person I'm worried about is the 15 car. It seems like to be wherever he goes, I go. So he finished second, I finished third. I think we were 14th and 15th in points before coming into tonight. So that seems to be my bookmark. Wherever he's at, that's where I'm going to be at. But it feels good. Yeah, very uncharacteristic nights for a lot of these guys. Justice, Trevor, Rob, Caleb, all these guys normally super quick at a lot of these road courses. So yeah, hopefully I don't want to wish a bad night on them, but I mean, hey, we'll take it when we get it.
Yeah, for sure, and able to capitalize here tonight, no doubt about that. Michael, congrats again on the podium. Anyone you'd like to thank or shout out while you're up here in the booth?
Yeah, absolutely. My teammates over at Performance, Maddie, Alex, Nick. Nick didn't race tonight. He got in a little too late, but he was in my ear the whole time. You know, lock it in, head down. Let's just run our laps. You know, talk to me about fuel strategies, everything. So big shout out to him. Shout out to my Mama and Pappy up in Pennsylvania. They tune in every week. We were just talking before the race about I was going to get a podium tonight, so this one's pretty special. Also to Stacy, my cousin, she's always tuning in. So I saw her in the chat too. So great. That's awesome. And shout out to Mama Burns. I saw her highlight me in the chat there, looking good in the slurp car. So appreciate that. And obviously slurp for the business. Got them sponsoring the car. And shout out to all the sponsors in the league, All About Bugs, Chapman Environmental, Erhardt Homes, I think is what it's called now. Buttkicker, and all the admin too for putting on such an amazing league. It's awesome to come in here and race every Wednesday. And shout out to you guys in the booth. You guys do a great job, man. I love watching the broadcast back, and glad we get to talk a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. It's not too often we've had the opportunity to chat. It's nice to have you up here, and hopefully you enjoy watching this one back. And there's a lot that went on in this race, is the easiest way to put it, and I'm sure
Yep.
Morgan would agree. We are thoroughly entertained up here in the booth tonight. But congrats again. Great run for you there in the 14 machine. And Michael, hope to see you again in the booth here real soon.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right, that was your third place finisher, Michael Bennett, here at Sonoma. Move over to the second spot on the podium. Alex Gagnon is caught up, Michael Waltrip style, on the grid walk with Trevor Keith.
Hey.
Hey, congrats on the second place finish there, Trevor.
Oh, yeah.
Just about everything you could have done right went your way tonight. There was just one car that did everything you were doing a hair faster tonight. Talk to us about your night. It seemed like you had the second best pace of anyone in the field by a wide margin. Unfortunately, just the wrong place at the wrong time, it seems.
Burns is going to be the guy going into this. And the first stage, I was trying to keep it as tight as possible and see what I had for him. I know I could have been faster, but I was just trying to, finish a race full, like one of these road courses. I've always been fast at these road courses, but I always make a mistake somewhere and screw myself somewhere. So I was just trying to run a clean race and be consistent throughout the run. I try not to push too hard. If Burns left, then I managed to get behind me, and so that's ended up happening. Once I realized I probably wasn't going to catch Burns, it was just about managing Diaz and Bennett and Parker, all these guys behind me who, they swapped back and forth throughout the night. So shout out to all those three of those guys and the 14. We have our freaking 14-15 battle. We're literally locked in points at 14-15, I think. And then after tonight, probably 12th and 13th or something crazy. But we never get away from each other. So
It's really funny that you say that, because Michael was literally saying the exact same thing. It seems like you guys have been lockstep for the longest time now, and that was very much the case here again tonight at Sonoma.
Every time we got to the stage and he was behind me, he restarted behind me, I was like, "Are you kidding me, dude? You can't just let me be up here by myself." So it's fun. I love racing these guys. We're gonna try to close that gap to Burns, though. We're getting better at the road courses. The last three have been really fast. Coda, I ruined my own race. Last year at the Roval, I could have finished second, but I had to take the stage points instead of pitting before, so kind of finished fifth. So we've been better at the road courses. Now we're just working on closing that gap to Jeremy and hopefully being the guy that'll knock him off the hill. That's the goal.
Well, you're certainly the closest of anybody in the field tonight. Running there, that second stage, you had about a second and a half-ish gap over Kyle Diaz, a good chunk of that stage, and then the 26 and the 48, I think, pit a lap earlier than you, Burns, and Bennett. Was there any concern about the undercut there, or were you pretty confident that that was going to be not enough fuel to make it to the end of the race?
I was pretty confident. Shout out to Justice Murphy, by the way. He was in my ear about saving fuel. He unfortunately had an incident early in the race, so he was helping me with the fuel thing, and we both knew that he probably wouldn't make it pitting a lap sooner. So I was on extreme save mode for that, get that next lap, and then after that, it was just save. He gets a second, then we push a little bit, and it's we stretch it out to 2 or 3 seconds at one point. Save again. And just to manage the gap, like I said earlier, we're just managing that gap behind us and trying to put together a complete race here.
It seems like you were able to do so pretty well. I mean, rolled off front row and were able to hold it all the way to the end.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like the fuel strategy worked out in your favor, especially because it seemed like those guys had to come down pit road one more time in the closing couple laps. Looking ahead to the next stretch of races here, solid points day today when a lot of drivers ahead of you in the points really seem to struggle. You're going to close up to a gap to a lot of drivers and probably jump over quite a few of them.
Yeah, needed that one.
Yeah, it's certainly going to give you a little bit more breathing room to the cut line. Do you look at that as forward progress and kind of locking yourself into that playoff 16? Or is it a matter of just being able to capitalize on a track that really suited you here tonight?
It's just gaining confidence, man. I mean, we had Charlotte where I was really fast and got involved in that wreck. I was running top 5 basically all day, got involved in that wreck, finished like 21st. Didn't go to Darlington. Kansas, my favorite track, we had a bad showing there. Dover, I made that mistake on the front row and spun out in front of everybody on a restart. So we've just put a string of bad races, and it seems how the season's been going. We'll put together 2 or 3 good ones, and then we'll put together 4 mediocre ones. 2 to 3 good ones, 4 mediocre ones. So we just need to get these finishes here and just keep them rolling. Gain the confidence.
Certainly a good run to try and get that trend back in the right direction here for you tonight, Trevor.
Oh, yeah.
While you're up here in the booth, anyone you'd like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, we're going to shout out KSX on the car, make all the paint schemes. It's me. Anybody wants a paint scheme, you can reach out to me on Facebook, Keith Stone Racing Graphics, or Discord, either way. If you look, some of your favorite paint schemes, the 12 was one of them tonight, the 18, me. Sometimes Tay runs one of mine, and sometimes the 41 runs one of mine. So we have some paint schemes out there usually. So, and then I think out Jake the Snake in my chat on the stream, and Zach was in the chat as well. They were there all day cheering me on.
All righty, man. Well, hey, congrats on the second place run. Good points for you here tonight. And hopefully we get to talk to you more soon moving forward to Iowa next week and the summer swing after that.
Oh, yeah. I'll say Chicago Street Burns, I'm coming for you. So we'll leave it on that one.
Issue challenge for Chicago on July 10th. Thanks again, Trevor. I'm now already circling that one on the calendar. Excited to see how that one's going to play out.
Someone's got to try to do it. So
absolutely. Alrighty. Well, hey, thanks for joining us up here, and congrats again.
Thank you, guys.
That was second place finisher Trevor Keith at Sonoma. And that is going to do it for the show here tonight. You were watching a presentation of the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series. The All About Bugs 110. Let's have a look at the schedule going forward. We are currently top of that third column at Sonoma, next week in Iowa. Then New Hampshire, Nashville, and Chicago, your next 4. Interesting slate of races ahead. Please join us next week as the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series goes racing in Iowa. Live June 17th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on V-Speed as we bring you flag.
June 19th.
June 19th. Sorry. Again, let it go.
So I just figured a lot of people wanted to tune in at the right date. Apologies.
I'm bugging you, Alex. It's all good. June 19th. Thank you. I wrote it down wrong in my notes. Here on V-Speed as we bring you flag-to-flag coverage all season long. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's race. Be sure to click the like and subscribe button for more bickering between Alex and I, of course. We can bring you racing every night of the week, every week of the year. Great racing here on V-Speed as always. For everyone here at V-Speed, Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Bradley Cooper, and of course, Alex Gagnon. I've been Morgan Cook. Have a great evening. Thank you, and good night.
So Chapman's been around for 32, almost 33 years. It's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we've built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today. One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
All About Bugs Tennessee Pest and Termite Control is all about family too. Our family-owned business has successfully been in operation in Sevierville and surrounding areas for almost a decade. Especially during these times, a pest-free home is necessary for a sustainable, disease-free home or business. Our services include residential, rental, commercial, hotel, motel, cabins, you name it. Free quotes and inspections for new customers, and most of our services are contract-free. Our All About Bugs Tennessee family is devoted to delivering the best possible pest control service with a friendly smile. Contact us at 865-453-5574 today.
If it's bugging you, you should be bugging us.